Welcome back, YouTube. JBOB, the video game slob here. Went out yesterday at like midnight and bought a bunch of comics. So let's check these out here. A buddy of mine was selling off his entire comic collection. He has 35,000 comics. And another friend of mine was coming to buy all his dollar books. So he had a sale kind of running on dollar books. People had been through, checked them out. And there was just tables full of long boxes, literally filled up an entire bed of a truck. So that's what we did, was headed out there. And so I said, if you're going to check out some comics, I want to see some comics. As fans of the channel might know, I've been, picking up video game comics here and there. And so I paid $10 for this stack. I think there's like 20 in here. We'll go through these. But this is what is fun, but kind of sucks about video game comics, is they're often super cheap and nobody cares at all about them. And so, yeah, here we go. I mean, speaking of games nobody cares about, I mean, City of Heroes, City of Villains, just sort of a long time dead PC game that nobody really cares about anymore. And so just picking up the comics is, fun to do, but yeah, I mean, not really worth anything, and I'm sure nobody will buy them off of me. So just happy to like find stuff like this. And so I have long said, that if I pick up comics like cheap enough, what I should do is just cut the backs off of them, because oftentimes they have these super cool advertisements on them, and just, bag and board those and sell them to people as artwork. And so he goes, yeah, funny enough, he's like, I've done that for a few. So he pulled these out. I don't think he thought they were of any value or anything like that. But he just kind of was like, oh, you're the guy that would appreciate this. And so he threw these in. But they were just comics that were totally ragged, and he cut them out. And I was just laughing because I loved the way the cartridge looks in there for the M Network ones, the Masters of the Universe. Just really great art styles and that kind of stuff that you can just get in this thing. So I don't know. I was like, well, maybe I'll hang these up in the kitchen and like get them framed or something like that, and just awesome Kool-Aid Man stuff there. Sort of a funny story about the Kool-Aid Man video game is I was collecting Atari 2600 stuff when I was in grad school, and I was dating a girl, and she bought me that game, and I remember just being sort of mad that she got it for me for Christmas, because I was like, I'll find it at a garage sale or something like that. You shouldn't spend money on that. I think it was like $10. But there you go. A lesson in being a more grateful husband than I was a boyfriend in college. Love the graphics on the bump and jump there. And some of the stuff was just, I don't know. Those are really cool dinosaurs, so let's grab that. Just really cool graphics, that sort of thing. So some of these aren't going to be entirely video game based, but yeah, you guys may have played Battle Chasers on the Xbox One. I did not go through and see if I had any of these or not. I think I already have some of these Battle Chasers issues. So these may be things that are already in the collection, but there you go. Again, not a very successful comic and not a very successful video game, but something to have, I guess. Again, just buying stuff that's cool. I used to read Simpsons comics. The only comics I probably really read. I had Turtles comics when I was a kid. But again, when I was in junior college, when I was getting my associate's degree, I would meet a girlfriend of mine up at a local mall, and so I would spend a couple bucks, and she was always late reading Simpsons comics. So I had a small collection of I don't know, a dozen or 20 of them or something that I sold off at one point. So you know how it is. Everything you sell off, you got to go back and pick up. So $1 at a time, I always pick up Simpsons comics. They're usually great reads and a lot of fun. This one I never knew existed. I've never seen one. I have a Street Fighter graded search that I run every so often, but not my favorite artwork by any imagination, but funny to see these crossovers and things like that happen. So that was fun to just find in there. Zen, most people know as the expensive NES game that came out, but he was this really goofy, stupid comic book action figure thing. You'd think it was supposed to be like Turtles or something like that, where they launched a video game, a comic book, and a series of toys. And what I like about Zen, and again, I don't know which of these I have or I don't have, is every single one of these is a number one, is a zero, is a special edition, has, this foil treatment to it that you can feel and see through there. It screws with the camera. But yeah, that's pretty funny. There you go. Here's another Zen. That's a number one. I think I have I don't even know, 10 or 12 number ones for Zen. So it's been a joke that every time we see them, I pick them up because they're so worthless. They're in every generic comic box that you ever find, and they're total pieces of crap. And then they got bought by Archie. So that one was the Eternity, two of the Eternity books. But eventually, or other times, you'll see them with that. And it's also got that. It's just so 90s with the foil on it. This I never knew existed. I certainly would have been on the lookout. Love Don Bluth, love Space Ace. Just gorgeous art. Every bit as gorgeous as the game. Yeah, just, damsel in distress, like cover. Great artwork there. I think I saw that this runs to 6 comics. So I have 1, 2, and 3, but I believe there's 3 more of these. Actually, I think this was pretty expensive. I kind of just hastily looked it up last night, and I think this run of 3 could net $20 to $30, like people do, like these. And so, you can see why, because just look at the right there, that work they do on the gun. It just looks like it's really firing. It's amazing. So, pretty cool stuff. Yeah, here's another one that's just, picking up for the damsel in distress, the great, homage, Dragonella, an amazing adult adventure, and of course the Misfits, great pastiche going on there. And then who just doesn't love some Wood 69? So, pretty cool, 15 center. This one's super wrecked. I think my buddy thought this was maybe worth some money. I think it might be, 'cause, again, a nice homage cover, but you can see it's not bagged, it's not boarded, and there's just ticks and condition issues everywhere. But Bartman number 4, it's a good reader. I love picking these up. These always show up in old video game or old comic collections because nobody cares. But they're Radio Shack comics, Tandy Computer, as you can see. So they always just have technology-themed stuff and really great advertisements like that in them. And obviously Archie. So yeah, there you go. So I always pick these up. Same thing, Radio Shack, Tandy, the electronics line. I don't know. Is it technically video games? Is it technically vintage computing? I don't know. But they're cool enough for me to always pick them up. And, cool shots of spacemen and moonmen and junk like that. Yeah, Archie in the history of electronics. Compliments of Radio Shack. There you go. This one I may not have. And then he had a bunch of free comic book day stuff. I try to make it out every year to free comic book day. And about 1 in 3 years do I actually make it, so I often miss these. And people, some reason, collect them. So it's often tough to find them or get people to let them go for free. I also feel very bad because I learned a couple of years back that the comic book stores actually pay the publishers for these. I thought the publishers gave them out as a way to get people in the door. But that's not the case. And so, I think they usually tell you, you can take a couple comics, something like that. And then I'll go there and there'll be 4 or 5 that I need. And so I feel bad. But yeah, so it's good to have that, Horizon Zero Dawn, free comic book day, and Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and Dynasty. So it's pretty good. Doom, I know, is just sort of popular right now. I love the 2099 series. I know the Spider-Man issue 1 2099 did pretty well. I was trying to show you that it's foily there. So I don't know. That's my boy Doom. I think that's the 3rd copy that I've now picked up. I'm $3 into my Doom collection for that, but I don't know. I'm crazy. There you go. Love the Injustice Fighting series. I was big into Mortal Kombat, so why wouldn't you be big into Injustice? I think these are pretty cool, and so fun to have the number 1, the book to go with it. You can see this is a reader. This is not mint by any means, but it doesn't need to be. If I find that graded or something, great, but otherwise, no. And then the final 2, I do kind of love the comic, the John Carter of Mars comic book covers. And so you can see there, just, I don't know, tells a story. And so, I don't know, comics that do that on the front, I just pick up and keep. Again, another one there that just really sparks the imagination. Let's say that. And so, love the coloring, love the work on that. So, there you go. That's what I picked up for $10 YouTube. Would you have bought it for $10? Do you hunt through old comic collections hoping to find some video game stuff? Am I the only nerd out there? So we'll find out. We'll talk to you later. Hopefully, more than once a week, but that's life. J Bob, over and out.